Hello there. We're so glad you're here. My name is Scott Morgan with VCE Pros. This is Juan Sales, the founder of VCE Pros. And this is a project we've been looking forward to for quite a while. So we're super glad that you are here. We're super glad that you want to learn about some cryptocurrency because it's a subject we love. And in fact, the people around us, they tend to get a little tired of us talking about it, don't they? So yeah, this is Bitcoin 101. And we are going to do our very best to give you a simple layout, because in my mind, Bitcoin is actually very simple, and just kind of walk you through it so that you can get a feel for what it is and why it is, and then make an educated decision on whether or not you even want to fool with Bitcoin. That's what this is about. We are strictly here for some education. But before we get into any of that, I just want you to know a little bit about us. And I would love for you to know a little bit about our founder, Juan. So let's start off by, nice and simple. Everybody has a Bitcoin story, so what's your Bitcoin story?
Well, for me, actually, it goes back to 2012.
Right.
I was walking out of the house on some day in December of 2012, and my son, who is very computer savvy, he was sharing with me about this cryptocurrency, this electronic money that to his eyes, it was very incredible, because at the time he said right now each coin is worth $12. And
$12. So to put that in perspective, today, well, not today, it's dropped a little bit, but a few days ago it was $12,000. Oh, yeah. Please continue.
Well, he said, Dad, 6 months ago, this coin was worth $6.
$6.
So if you double in 6 months, this might be a way you can make some money.
Right.
And I thought, wow, that sounds kind of interesting. So where do I spend that money? How do I get that money? And how do I put it in my pocket, right? Because that's where we want to have it. And he kind of smiled, laughed, and he goes, that is hard to explain. Right now, you really can't spend it too many places. But if you want to learn, I'll tell you more about it. I made the mistake of not asking him more. So time went by, and when I say time went by, I will say years went by.
Wow.
And it was last year, sometime in November, I was working on the coast with my brother-in-law, and he writes code, and he was telling me what he was doing and sharing that my son also writes code and what is the new ventures. And he said, you know what, well, right now one of the things I'm doing is investing in Ethereum. And I said, how do you eat that? And he laughed, and he goes, no, Ethereum,
you can't eat it.
You can't eat it, no. Ethereum is a application that is kind of hard to explain, but have you heard of Bitcoin? And I said, oh yeah, my son told me many years about Bitcoin, and you know how much Bitcoin is worth now? And I said, well, no. And at the time, I think it was worth almost $1,000.
Wow.
And you're talking about November of last year.
Right.
And I was like, oh my gosh, I should have understood when my son was telling me and get some at a $12 back then. And he goes, well, it's not too late. There's Ethereum right now at $8.
Oh.
And he was very kind enough to give me some education, download the app. Here's the app that I recommend. Take a look at how it moves up and down. And at the time, the app that he showed me was one of the most famous apps out there, which is Coinbase.
Right.
And back then, they only have Ethereum and Bitcoin. They were the only two coins.
Right.
And so he showed me how to do it. I came back from the trip, and in December, I had a trip to Mexico for some time. And when I came back, I totally forgot about it. So when I came back from Mexico, I spaced it out, and it was a few months later, I needed space on my phone because I took too many pictures in Mexico. I'm deleting all these apps, And I came across Coinbase, and I'm like, oh. So I click on it, I open it, and to my surprise, now Ethereum is trading at $80.
So we're from 8 to 80.
To $80.
Wow. Today, 800, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So I decided right then, right in there, I need to be part of this.
That's it.
I need to educate myself in it. And that's actually where the idea of education came, because I didn't want this to happen to other individuals, because for the most part, what people talk out there of Bitcoin either is a scam, is a bubble, is a
Network marketing,
multi-level marketing, and it's nothing of those. Nothing to do with that. It has to do a lot with technology. It has to do a lot with transitioning from where we are in the economy to a new economy, and we the adults, we live in this new technology that open up because thanks to the internet, we live in that to our sons and the grandkids and to the future to come. So it is important for all of us to understand, and that's where the platform or the idea was born. And as I keep thinking, okay, how can I do it clean enough and all that, I'm gonna need somebody that can help me. And serendipity, I run into you.
Nice.
And thank you for helping us.
It was beautiful. Actually, I'd been keeping up with Bitcoin. I just kept seeing it, and learning, reading a little bit about it. Couldn't, really wrap my head around it. And then when I met you, 3-4 months ago, that's my Bitcoin story. Is he sat down with me and he showed me how to buy in, and here we are. And the more I've learned about it, it really does. It suits my personality, because you said it's a new economy. It's a new everything. I mean, we now have a way to transfer value, assets, and money securely across the internet, which has never been done before. Never been done before until Bitcoin brought the technology to the table. And now there's all kinds of projects. We're going to get into all of that. Tell me a little bit about why Bitcoin? Like, what is it about the technology that you love? And what is it why you're so supportive of it?
Well, at first, I'm going to be honest with you. The main purpose was the money.
Yeah, we all get into it for the money. Absolutely.
I think that is exactly what people hear about it. And the more I read about it and the more I watch some videos from, I will say he is my mentor, although he doesn't know it, Andreas Antonopoulos. He really brings information right to the point of what it is. And when I heard him from the first time, I had a different spin now. I was like, okay, hold on. So it's not about the money. Right. It's about the blockchain. It's about the technology. It's about how it's going to bring a new era of economy. Yeah. And that in itself, well, back then Bitcoin was the coin. And it's still up to date. Bitcoin is the coin. Right. Is the father of the coins. And I think we'll stay there for some time. There will be other coins that will surpass that because of the speed, but I think Bitcoin is going to stay there. So why did I fall in love with Bitcoin, and what attracted me? I will say is the newness to technology that is working side by side with the internet. And I remember I'm one of the pioneers using the internet when we used to put it in a cradle and speed dial through the fastest modem you could have. And
the 56K?
And
I remember that.
And I remember being in advertising. I remember people telling me, this is going to take on, and all these businesses are going to be advertising on the internet. And I honestly thought, you're crazy. That's not going to happen. So I did miss out on that boom because I was focused. I didn't want to accept the new technology. I didn't want to accept the change, and because I didn't want to accept it, just like Buffett. What's his name?
Warren Buffett.
Warren Buffett. Yes, thank you. Warren Buffett. Likewise, he didn't believe in Amazon. Right. And it's still to the point, he's like, I didn't believe he could make it. Right. But here's the thing, is we sometimes don't want to accept it. And that is one of the biggest mistakes, because instead of not accepting, we should inform ourselves. So once we inform ourselves, or once I inform myself, I went, this is where I want to be. This is a path that I want to take on, and I fell in love with it.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Yeah, as you can see, you know, I love it. You're very passionate about it. I think that's why you and I get along so well. You're a self-made man. You know, you don't have any formal education as a background, and you have built yourself up over the years, originally from Mexico, and just succeeded and failed along the way, but ultimately, you know, succeeded one thing after another. And that's why I love, because as I hear you talk, these are all the lessons that I think we all at some point need to learn in order to make something of ourselves, in order to grow into a better life. And it was important for me that you guys, you know, you'll get to know me as we go through this series, but I wanted you to meet Juan because I think the world of him. He is an educator, he is a teacher by heart. You're always there anytime I need you, and you know, you're lucky to find a person that has something bad to say about you, and I know you know that. Yeah. So it's really, to me, it was important that they see us and they see you and they being you guys, the intention behind this educational platform, just to share the lessons, just to be of service to other people, and really for no other reason at all. So thanks a lot for chatting with us.
For inviting me.
The next video, what we're going to discuss is we're going to lay the groundwork for we're going to lay the groundwork for what we need in order to really understand the upcoming information, because there's some very simple psychology behind what drives us and what keeps us getting up in the morning, and when we do fail, what keeps us getting up to try again, no matter how many times, until we succeed. So that's going to be the next video, and yeah, we'll see you there.
Thank you for joining us.